One day if I get a position, even now, I will one day give youth this question. Utakuwa na pressure na depression, and that's why men wanakufa sana huku. Because I think I follow the footstep of my grandfather. My grandfather was an architect, and I pray I should not be transferred as early as possible. I want to learn under senior clergy before maybe God lift me to another level. Who was a gay? Who came to me and say, Pasi, mimi ni gay. Nilianza gay nikiwa grade sijui what, class 6. So akotuna mambo mengi kwa kichwa yako. Ukikaa na yeye kuna vitu anataka ifanyike. Hii na hii church changiwe hivi, and I know.
Welcome to St. Bartholomew TV. I'm your host Gavi, na leo niko na Pasi atajiintroduce.
Thank you so much Gavi for this opportunity to appear in this show. My name is Calvin Cornel. I serve at this parish of St. Bartholomew Nyari as a youth coordinator and also children's coordinator and teens. Thank you.
Nice. So leo unajua tulishafanya na Pasi. Now we know who he is. So now it's time to get to know who Calvin Cornel is. And I'll start by asking, Calvin Cornel ni nani?
Calvin Cornel is a son of the late Frederick Churchill and Tekla. I am a husband, a father, a brother.
Siku hizi tuliambiwa ukiwa husband unasema husband to
a husband to one wife who is a lady.
Could be Adam and Steve.
Oh yeah. Yes. And as I've said, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and a brother to many. And at this moment, I'm happy to serve in this parish.
Nice.
Yes.
So, Pasi, can you take us back to the moment you first felt the call into the ministry?
Thank you. Personally, I want to thank God for my family. I was brought up in a Christian family. My grandfather was a strong tukutender as a man. And I remember as a young man, as I was growing, I was named after him. His name was Cornel Oruko. So I'm the first grandson named after him. So he loved me so dearly. So we used to go with him in Ushirika, the East Africa Revival Fellowship, that is well known as Tukutendereza. And many times he could also encourage me to go to Sunday school, which I was not a fan for Sunday school. I used to love attending the main church. At St. Peter's Cathedral, Siaya, we had a very vibrant choir. So I enjoy going to the main church to see the way choir singing. But when we get home, the grandfather could ask me, what did you learn? Then he found that I have no answer. Then he said, that's why I want you to go to Sunday school. I later joined Sunday school when I'm now a grown-up. But when I was young, I was not a fan of Sunday school so much.
Are you saying wale watoto wanakujanga katikati ya kanisa tuwaache wakuje?
Yeah, tuwaache sometimes. If you realize that they love main service, they don't want to go to Sunday school, leave them, encourage them until the day they will feel comfortable of going to Sunday school. Because they better come to the main church than remaining at home. Yeah.
Bado sijasikia hapa tumeniambia, this is the moment I felt the calling of God.
Now, I started there to show how I was brought up in Christianity. And when I was being confirmed in the year 1997 by the Bishop Emeritus Joseph Otieno Asonga, the sermon that he preached was that, if you are being confirmed and you have never accepted Jesus, then tunafanya kazi bure. And that is, and imagine with me, I went to confirmation class for 2 years. So when I realized that giving your life to Christ is 1 second and confirmation was 2 years, I decided to go in front and I was prayed for, and that's where I accepted Christ. But those salvation when you are young, where you don't take serious. I went to high school. I did not become any prefect or any leader, but in high school I was able to become a CU organizing secretary, then later a CU chairman.
CU chair.
Then I finished school. After Form 4, I found myself in the estate of Komarok. I was doing some business there. So I was not that.
Koma pande gani?
Koma sector 1. Sisi court.
Iko karibu na Kayole ama gani?
Yes. Kayole was our good neighbors. And as I stayed there, I was not a regular church goer again, because on Sunday is when I was having customers. But later I decided.
Unafanya biashara gani?
Ilikuwa tu ya duka.
What are you selling?
Everything that we have in the shop. It was a small mini
retail
supermarket.
Retail.
Ilikuwa to a bendo shop. Yeah. So I thank God I have some skills in business. And it's helping me in the life event.
So unaweza tuuzie uoga.
Yeah, naweza uzie uoga, mkipenda mnunue na mkikataa pia itabidi nijipange.
Endelea.
So from there, I started attending Kiswahili service at ACK Good Samaritan Komarok. And the vicar there, Reverend Lilian Munyiri, was looking for Sunday school teachers. So the first day she said that we need people who can join children's ministry, and they are meeting in a hall. I went there and looked at people going into that hall to the meeting. And I realized most of them, they were our mama wazee. Then nikasema, no, I cannot join this team. Then as I was standing there was a beautiful girl. I remember her, she's called somebody Grace. Nikaona akiingia kwa hiyo meeting. I want to say that Grace motivated me to join the meeting of the new Sunday school teachers. Because I realized that, okay, even the youths are part of it. So I became a Sunday school teacher. And there was a day that Sunday school, within the same year, there was a Sunday school Sunday. And the teachers decided that only teachers of Good Samaritan are the one going to preach. So I was preaching in the English service. So after preaching, the vicar then, Reverend Lilian Munyiri, called me on Monday and said, can you come? I see you in the office on Tuesday. So on Tuesday I went, and she said that I saw you have a call, but you have never told me. And I told her, yes, but I was discouraged. I think that time I was more, how can I use this word, misled by people on a tribal background. And I told him, I was told, I don't know where I got that courage, because she's a Kikuyu and I'm a Luo that time. And I told her, I was told you cannot become a mchungaji in this Nairobi if you are a Luo. And she told me, yes, Calvin, I know. That's what people say. Go and write for me a letter and bring. So I wrote a letter to her, and she was able to read it, call for a PCC. They did for me an interview, and they passed that I go to meet the bishops' committee, who are now to examine me again and see whether I can go for theological training. Yeah.
So I want to take you back to that first moment when you were ministering. Unajua kuna kuanga na kauoga fulani, unasimama unaona watu wengi, mguu inakuwa very weak.
Oh, yeah.
How was it for you?
The advantage I got was my background of being a CU chair in a Chianda Boys High School. We were over 1,500. So many Sundays, the CU chair was to preach. Especially their time, I remember my first time, we were waiting for Bishop of Bondo. It was called, right now is Bishop Emeritus Angela. He was to come and preach. All staffs were there, majority of teachers were there, the principal is there. Then we get a message that the bishop will not make it. So the principal say, the CU chairman, you are the one to preach. And now the teachers are there. I was not doing well in some of the subjects, like the sciences were my problem. I can see the chem teacher is sitting there. So sometimes
was it the dining hall, or you guys at the church?
We were sitting outside. There was because we were too many that we cannot have a service in our dining hall. So we were under a certain tree, a very big tree, and we are over 1,500 of you. So you are preaching here now. Teachers are sitting while you preach, and you know very well that even that teacher of the subject you are performing poorly is sitting there. It's like hawa watu wa CU wamejua tu kuperform vizuri kwa pulpit, but in class they are not
Hakuna
performing.
kitu.
Yeah. So it was that's where I was baptized by fire. That you can preach even when your seniors are sitting. You can preach even people you fear are sitting.
Also where your fear of crowd ilikuwa ishatoka.
Yeah, the fear of the crowd ilitoka while in high school.
And can you say your first sermon ulikuwa knowledgeable enough ama ulienda kupiga guesswork?
I realized that God used people in a different way. Sometimes I've realized that the best sermons are those sermons that I preach before going to theological school. They were sermons that you depend on God, you pray, and you just tell God, Baba nakuja mbele zako, nitumie vile unataka. But sometimes after kuzoea kupreach, unazoea kazi ya Mungu. But at that time, you know very well that God without you, nitanguka. So I pray that we need that Sunday school faith to serve God.
To serve God.
Yeah.
So pasi nataka nikurudishe kwa who was Calvin Cornel before ministry, and what kind of person were you when growing up? Najua umeguzia a bit of it, you can go a bit deeper.
Calvin Cornel, I don't know how to describe myself because
Alikuwa mtu wa mtaa.
Nilikuwa tu mtu wa mtaani, mjuaji tu, kichwa ngumu tu, na nilikuwa na hasira sana.
Nairobi ama Ocha?
Immediately I finished Form 4, I found myself in Nairobi.
So your childhood
imekuwa uko home, but my teenage age to youth, I found myself in Nairobi. So while in Nairobi, because I was living with a sister, and we were running a business, so I was a good boy in a way that mine is to be in the shop morning to evening. So I did not get time to have easy life in Nairobi, kuenda hizo masherehe. Nilikuwa tu kwa biashara yangu tangu morning to maybe evening. But utotoni nilikuwa home. I was those young boys who will try everything. Kupanda miti,
kudandia matatu,
vitu tu za vijana kufanya kichwa ngumu. I remember my grandmother, they knew kama wanasiasa wako town, because our home and town iko karibu sana. Nikisikia Raila ako town, mimi nimeshakimbia. Na nikisikia crusade, anything called politics and crusade, I could not miss.
So we can say you are a curious person.
Yeah. Right.
Nice. So pasi kwa jani yako, what moment of struggle ama any defining moment ili confirm path yako to this ministry?
In my life, I can say I found myself, number one, while I was in school, my strength was in humanities. I was not good in sciences, but humanities was my part. Again, I found myself being brought up in Christian home, Sunday school, brigade, and now in high school, CU. We used to have these conferences during the holidays. Those are the areas that I used to attend.
Were they called Weekend Challenge, ama that's a different
thing?
The
Weekend Challenge is different. That one is during the time of school.
Mission.
During the term. Weekend Challenge can happen in between the term. But conferences happen when the school is closed. So you go for 1 week somewhere. So those are the things that I used to love most. With my grade again, I realized that I'm so passionate towards humanity. So my intention was to do things like HR, things like counseling, things like it's more people-oriented.
Or people-centered.
Yeah, people-centered. I was not because sciences I could not do, depending even with my grades. I performed poorly in the sciences, but I performed very well. Imagine I got an A in Kiswahili. Aluo getting an A in Kiswahili.
Waambaje?
Wewe. Kusema ndio shida saa zingine.
Ngeli ya kuhubiri ni gani?
Yeah. So I was good in humanities and languages. So I was looking for those courses, counseling, that deals with human beings mostly. So later, I found myself the way I started, that I joined children ministry. So at the end of the day, I realized that I'm more people-oriented.
Mtu wa watu
tu hivyo. Either ningekuwa hiyo counselor, like right now, counseling I will not forget. I will continue doing it, studying it. But maybe if I could have not gone those side, maybe ningetafuta vitu kama kuwa MCA, kuwa mbunge, kuwa... And that's why when you follow me, you will realize, even in my social media, you will find some politics. And some people will always tell me, Pastor, can you concentrate on the sermon?
On the ministry.
Yeah, but I think I follow the footstep of my grandfather. My grandfather was an active Tukutendereza, very rigid Tukutendereza person. He was also a community person. He was a chairman, board chair for many schools in Siaya. He was also an estate fellowship chairperson, and I remember in the early 90s he also vied to be the councillor of our area. Yet he was a born-again Christian.
That's a modern-day MCA.
So he was a person who was able to balance both community work, church work, and his personal spiritual work. But I know there are people who know that if you are born again, don't talk about politics. Just be a born-again Christian, sing in choir, sing in praise and worship. Don't participate in public participation, the policies that...
Lakini voters ni Christians too.
Yeah, voters are Christian. And the same people, you will hear them celebrating people like Bishop Gitari, Bishop Muge, Bishop... this one, the Bishop of Catholic. Many of them, the one that were telling more, on their face. You will find them celebrating them, but when they see a minister or somebody who loves church commenting on politics, then they feel like the person have backslided.
Do you know even the way Anglican broke away from the Universal Church Catholic was also a political process?
Yes.
So hatuwezi hepa hiyo.
And our church was well known many times. If you look, those who were baptized many years ago will remember, or if you go to Yaushago Church, you will see CPK, Church of the Province in Kenya. And when people like Bishop Okulu, Bishop Gitari were tough to the president, they were calling us Church of Politician in Kenya, CPK. But later, now we are ACK, the Anglican Church of Kenya.
The Anglican Church of Kenya.
So but I can't tell you, brother, the church leadership. One thing I love with Anglican is that we have a spokesperson. Like in Kenya, we have the Archbishop being our spokesperson. Yes. And our bishop also can be the spokesperson of the diocese. As we will, tutapika tu siasa zetu ndogo hapa chini, but I cannot speak on behalf of Anglican Church or of our diocese. It's the bishop and the Archbishop to be the spokesperson.
So yako ni personal opinion.
Yangu ni personal opinion. Kwa Facebook hizi ndogo ndogo.
So Pasi, what has been the hardest season in your ministry and how did it shape you?
That question, when I'm asked, I always try to think, and I don't want to exaggerate.
Iseme venye iko.
The book of John 16:33 reminds us that in this world we shall face tribulation.
Yes.
But we need to cheer up. And again, when I look the story of Joseph, a man loved by his father, a man who had a dream, and that dream that he shared with the family led him to be sold. He found himself in Potiphar's house. He did his job. He was perfect. Being perfect, the wife of the king admired him. He refused to go to bed with the king's wife. That one led him to the prison.
To the prison, yeah.
I want to say that the challenges that we will face will not be because of our mistakes. Some will be because of our principles. Some because you want to stand with the truth. Those are the things that will cost you. So I'd always believe, because I'm a preacher, I'm a motivational speaker, encouraging young people, that life is a journey. And therefore, some of the challenges that I face in life, I don't want to magnify them, to make like I was not supposed to go through them. I believe that every challenge that I've gone through was to prepare me to be who I am. After saying that, I can say that one of the challenges that I've faced has been financial challenges. which everybody goes through. Yeah.
Some of us are financially disabled.
Disabled, yeah. And you know, the bad part of it, I realized that being even a teacher or a mechanic outside there is better. When you are like in 2015, I was appointed by Bishop Emeritus to be youth pastor at ACK St. Stephen Cathedral, Jogo Road. At that time, some of the youths are doing well financially. And what you get is a token, very small. And you have a family. You don't know how you will manage this family with this small token. Then later, I found myself in a church called St. Helens Githurai, where I need to spend over 300 per day.
Really?
So you need over 12,000. And maybe your token is 20K. So it's a challenge. The same time, you are a student at St. Paul University. And I want to tell you, if I take you back, after the bishop recommended me to join theological school, I was taken to, the letter was that you must report at St. Paul University. And mine was no. Why not Chachami? Why not Kabare? Because to me, I was looking the finance, because at St. Paul, as you do your degree, you need over 80,000 per semester. Unless you do lesser units.
Na help by saidi huko.
Help uta-apply, maybe utapata mkiwa karibu kumaliza hata. So ilikuwa shida. So to me it was like, no. Can I go somewhere at least? Because I knew very well with the diploma, I was able to do with maybe 300 na umemaliza your diploma yako. And again, even if you are calling friends to support you, wanakuja, wanachanga, na wanasikia umeenda shule. Lakini sasa ukiwa St. Paul unaenda evening classes, na wanakuona hapa, wajui kama hii harambee ni ya kulisha bibi ama ni ya kusoma.
Alikula pesa.
Alikula pesa. So it was a big challenge. I remember going to the AS then, and I asked him, can I go to Kabari or somewhere? And he told me no. When the bishop said St. Paul, go to St. Paul. And so I went to St. Paul, and the greatest challenge that I faced was the finance. You have the children, you have the wife, you know, you are the man, you are the provider, you are the protector. And you found yourself, you are unable to do what a man should do. So it was tough, but again, you must smile in the pulpit. You must show people that you are doing well, and you must dress well. You know, when you are just a person doing your business and you are not a pastor or whatever, working in church, somehow unaweza survive na t-shirt na jeans. Lakini pale unaona umeambiwa wewe ndio una preach cathedral. Lazima, na umejua ni cathedral, lazima wanasema Anglikana.
You have to look good.
Lazima uwe na tai, na uwe na koti nzuri. If you look at my photos at cathedral, you will realize I used to have suti.
You looked rich.
Yeah. When I left cathedral and I went to Githurai is when I became...
Standards ikadrop.
Standard ikarudi chini. So you are to maintain that standard, but financially you are unable to do that. So that was the challenge. But again, it helps me to live one day at a time, budget with the little that I have. And I want to say that there are people, some of them are clergy, some are friends, who really stood with us with encouragement. Kuambia usijali, hata sisi tulipitia hapo, tukavuka. So I want to say that encouragement from friends, relatives, church leadership really hold me. And even the support of the wife, because you are a wife of a hustler who must go to church every day. I wish I was attached, or I was just someone going on Sunday. But you are there Tuesday to Sunday. So huwezi enda mjengo, huwezi fanya biashara zako. So hapo ndio huko. So that was a very big challenge. I know if I meet any of my landlords, they will always say, this man alitusumbua sana.
Ako analipa.
Alitusumbua sana, because I remember one day a landlord followed me up to a church where I was serving. And that time nilikuwa na deni because nilichukua loan ya shule. So they were paying me 15,000. So when she went there, she was given 10K. So end month nilipata 5K. Na hiyo unaishi wapi? Umoja na unaenda Githurai. Maisha ilikuwa ngumu. But God ni nani? God anakusaidia tu, unatembea, which was good. That time I was slim.
Ulikuwa fit.
I was fit. And I believe that these are challenges that everybody goes through. But when the time you are facing them, they are very tough. But they are normal challenges. Maybe if somebody followed this interview, they will say, we at least tulianza na 20,000. Sisi tulianza na 10. Sisi hatukuwa na kitu.
Tulikuwa zero.
Yeah, so that's why I always don't like to magnify my problem, but I want to ensure that I magnify what God has done to me. Because the challenges in life are common. And the Bible says in this world, we shall face tribulation.
Pasi, kila challenge uko na lesson, si ndio? What financial lesson did you learn during that period?
You know, when you say during that period, watu watadhani nimeshaomoka. Hata bado na survive, hata landlord yangu asiwatch hii show. Yeah, because hata landlord yangu amezoea.
No, but you're doing better than that time.
You know, the bad thing is, each and every year, the expenses grow.
The cost of living goes
The cost
high.
of living grow. And you found that now you have children going to school. You have, maybe at that time I was living in 1 bedroom. Right now I must have a 2 bedroom. So you found that I'm still in that stage. But one thing that I've learned, the way I said, one day at a time, where even my wife and my entire family knows, kama daddy akonayo, akonayo. And they are used to me. They know that kama daddy akonayo, utaona tu, ameingia na nyama choma. Leo tuende out, leo tufanye hivi. But if I don't have, I totally don't have. And it also taught me as a family man to be open with my wife, because I realized that if you keep secret, first of all, which secret do you keep? Because number one, you don't have that money. So you must put everything on the table and say, I have 20,000, so rent must go 10,000, food must go this, then itabaki na 1K ya sadaka na kila kitu. So you must be open so that amejua tu mzae alishatoa zake zote.
Alishatoa yake.
Yeah. So it taught me to be open with my family and to budget with what I have.
Usijaribu kuingiza mguu kwa kiatu itoshi.
Utakuwa na pressure na depression, and that's why men wanakufa sana huku nje, because you want to show your family something that is not you. Tell them who you are, and they will appreciate you and respect you with, so long you are faithful and you are able to provide for them.
But I want to follow that one up with, have you ever had moments where your faith was deeply tested? And how did you navigate that?
I think I'm privileged not to go through tough things.
Haujafika mahali unasema ai wewe Mungu pia wewe uko na za ovyo.
Yeah, you know, it will be like I'm repeating myself. The issue of being a family man, going to school, the finance was like everything. I remember there was a year I was almost giving up because totally unable to pay my bills. Totally you have defer in school.
Na kitu kwa ngumu kwa mwanaume.
And you are unable to take care of your children. And many things were going on kwa kichwa yangu too. And during that time is when people also come with quick solutions. Somebody calls you from this diocese and say, kuja huku, kuna ordination next month. Unafikiria, kuna ama pastor wa Pentecostal mwingine anataka kufungua church karibu na penye unaishi.
Kuja tu.
Anasema kuna branches, so anataka ukuje. But I thank God. I think with me, God have prepared me that He want me just to serve in Anglican, and He want me not to go astray. So even when the options were coming, I did not go out. Because I know friends who went, others got even ordained in those other dioceses, others went to Pentecostals. But because God did not call them there, they found themselves hanging. So you found that even I, serving as a youth pastor in the Nairobi diocese with the little resources, I'm even in a better position to do the work of God with peace than them who went outside and they look for ordination, and they were like, now they have a good title, people respect them, but you realize that they cannot take care of themselves. So I was about to give up, but I thank God. Zingine unasemanga tu hata ujui what happened. But God is the one who holds you, hardened your heart, and told you, just relax. And during that period, there were people who were holding us. I want to tell you, one day, I was at Cathedral. I will not mention his name because he's a senior person. He found me walking at the compound, and he told me, Cornel, I see you unatembea pole pole. Nikamwambia, Canon, penye wakubwa wako lazima nitembee pole pole. Niambia hapana, kuja nione kwa ofisi. When I went to his office, he also supported my education at St. Paul. And from there, we became friends, encouraging me, don't worry. Kuna watu walipitia hapo. Kuna watu wameshaenda interview more than 5 times. Yeah. There's one he told me that he has a friend they went with for an interview. But the person was taken when he's a senior clergy. Then nikasema, okay, wacha nivumilie. So I believe that I was almost giving up, but such encouragement holds me. Really such people, they don't know what they told me, but with me I can remember what they did in my life, encouraging me. And many times when I see that gentleman, I always pray for him, and I know God will take him to places.
Oh, he's in a good place right now, eh?
He's in a good place right now. For security purposes, I will not mention the name.
You will not mention the name. So, Pasi, how would people closest to you describe you beyond the pulpit?
That question, many times when you attend interview, you will be asked. But I will always answer that that question belongs to them. But in my position, I will try to be me. Brother, anytime I attend funeral service, I see every burial has a eulogy. And this eulogy, in most cases, is written by family and friends, and some tributes also. I believe that Calvin should just remain Calvin, unique. Because one thing I learned when I was in primary school was that the key to failure is trying to please everyone. So I cannot please everyone. So the best thing is I need to be humble. I need to respect people. And I just need to be me. That one day, Gavi, if I go before you because I'm older than you, you can come and say, Calvin was a talkative man. Calvin was a very rigid man, according to the way you know me. But if I try that I want to please you, then I will also fail. I will be a fake person. So let me be Calvin, that people can say Calvin is good or Calvin is bad. But as I serve, that question came to my mind when I was in high school. And I gave people a plain paper and say, can you write something about Calvin? One day if I get a position, even now, I will one day give youth this question. Can you write something about Calvin? But don't write your name.
Don't write your name.
So that when I sit down, when you are menitusi, I like the politicians. Whereby utasikia mtu anakutusi, lakini hakuna kucommit suicide kwa sababu mtu amekutusi. I need to know, what do people say I am? Because even Jesus asked such question. What do people say I am? It's more like stock taking, so that you know, are you in the right path or in the wrong path? So right now, I want to build myself. I want to build my relationship with the people, my leadership skills, and I just want to follow my passion, so that niachie watu waseme. So that question you should go and ask the youth. Who is Calvin? They will give you the best answer.
Calvin is a very friendly person.
Thank you.
Ana mambo mingi.
Thank you.
Lakini ako na ukweli mingi bwana. Katikati ya sama unarushanga mabomshe.
Thank you.
So, Pasi, What kind of leader do you strive to be, and what values guide your decisions?
My prayer has been that I become, I like the leadership, the servant leadership. Servant leadership brings you closer to people. Because I identify my purpose when I was young, and I realized that I am a people's person. Whereby I was telling you, I was thinking of doing things like HR, things like counseling, being a Sunday school teacher, such things. So I need to be just a servant, because one thing I've also learned since I joined ministry full-time, 2015 I joined full-time because I was appointed the youth pastor at St. Stephen Jogo Road. I realized that if you are, you apply servant leadership, the ministry is very smooth and you will enjoy the work of God. Just kuwa tuna watu, usiwe bosi, be able to listen to others, and then you will enjoy the leadership. So that's what I like. I look at Jesus doing the work of slaves by washing the disciples' feet. That was the work of a slave. And I see him sitting with these people, walking with them, having a committee that he can ask, he can engage. So servant leadership is my choice. The value that attracts me there, I don't know how to call it, but being courageous, being someone who love, especially the love part of it, because it is not easy to apply servant leadership if you lack the value of, if I don't know whether to call it value, but love. Loving people will make you to have that servant leadership because you want to serve them. For God so loved the world that he sent Jesus. And Jesus being love, he was able to serve these people. Hakuona hii kazi ya kuosha mguu ya watu ni kazi ya slave. But because he loved them, he was able to kushika hizo mguu yao chafu. Umejua kwa church naonanga, but that is, we call it what? Ceremonial.
Oh, ceremonial.
But hawa watu wanakuja wamevaa kiatu nzuri, wanatoa socks, wametoa pale, mguu ni safi. Pale wale jamaa walikuwa natembea na hizo akala, open shoes. And mguu yao imekatika. How do we call it? Imecrack. Na hizo ndio miguu Yesu aliosha. Sio hizi tunaoshanga hapa Nyari. Hizi naweza osha hata the entire church to show them I'm humble. But Jesus was meaning what he was doing. So as a church, as Anglican, when you see the vicar, the bishops, they are washing, they are demonstrating the servant leadership, which comes with the love and humility.
Basi tukiwa tu hapo kwa leadership, I want to believe you've never had your parish, meaning you've mostly served under people. How's the experience?
I want to say, one day I attended a conference of Pentecostal pastors. The speaker there was Apostle Joe Kayo. And he was speaking to assistant pastors. Whatever he taught that day have helped me in Anglican in one way. He was telling them, because in Pentecostal there are ministries, most of them they are ministries.
Yeah.
So he was telling the assistant pastors, don't introduce your ministry in your senior's ministry. So if you join repentance and holiness, you need to know that the ministry there is repentance and holiness. When you go to deliverance, the same. So from there, anytime I'm working with the vicar, my question is, where is this ministry? I work well with my first vicar that we worked close with, who recommended me, was Reverend Lillian Munyiri. She loved children's ministry. And therefore, I was so keen on children ministry. And we became friends up to now. I want to tell even right now, if I tell her that mchungaji niko leave, ataniambia kuja Sunday to preach for one of my daughter church or this one my church. Because we bonded together because of children ministry and teens. And many a times she has called me into those teens camp, teens whatever is a program tunakwanga now holiday. We again work with one who was a good father, may his soul rest in peace, Reverend Dr. Muraguri. Dr. Muraguri loved praise and worship and mission. So I was a very strong praise and worship member at Good Samaritan.
Naonanga unatuimbiaga hapa.
Yeah, I was there. And he loved that because Dr. Muraguri ataki a boring service. And again, I realized that he loved teaching. So I was able to follow his teachings, and I realized that he was a realistic. When he preached, he'll ask himself, what is the situation in this church? What are the people going through? And those are the things he wants to address in his sermon.
Yeah.
So his sermon was real. And therefore I will tell you, even right now, I always follow some of his sermon in the YouTube. He was a real preacher. So I learned that he loved praise and worship, and he loved hiyo ingine inaitwa nini nimesema hiyo preaching,
real life teaching.
So we work well with him. As I went to St. Stephen Cathedral, at least I had advantage because my appointment was youth pastor. So I was in the youth hall, and therefore in the main church maybe once when I'm preaching. So there I did not have a problem with the people I serve with, like Canon Mungo and Canon Paul Karaoke, because I am in the youth. Mine is to give them report of things happening in the youth.
Yeah.
So we work well. The church where I get that we are again like Komarok was Githurai, where we were with Canon John Maina. And him also, that mchungaji, I will appreciate him. He's the first mchungaji to give me an opportunity to do counseling to the couple and to preach in a wedding. And I remember the first wedding I asked him, Canon, I can see some senior clergy here. Akaniambia, when do you fanya counseling? Yes, you are the one preaching.
You're the one preaching.
And I preached on that wedding. I remember it's a wedding of people who are wale wenye wako na nguvu kwa church. The son alikuwa na wed. I thought that ikifika wedding, Canon ndiye ata preach. But his system is the person who did counseling is the one to preach. So we work with him well. I was able to support him in the issue of easy fellowships, youth, and any responsibility he gave me. But one thing I realized that you need to learn what does your boss love, where is his ministry, and my work is to support him. One of the reverend, I will not forget, called Reverend Fred Warui. He was once our curate, and he once told me, Cornel, I know unaingia huduma. Kama kuna kitu umeona kwa church ambao unaona inatakikana iwe implemented, buy a notebook. Andika. Na uombe, andika ukiomba. Siku yenye utapewa responsibility
ya kanisa.
That is the time now to implement. At the moment, your work is to support your vicar to the end. And last then the two parishes that I've served was one is in Umoja. I was also given by Venerable Catherine now, gave me an opportunity to serve in youth, and I knew that she's a teacher. So my work was to support in that area of teaching. Then finally I was brought here where we work with Reverend Elizabeth and now Canon
Cairo.
Yeah.
Ako aje bele, unajua ni boss wako sahi.
Canon Cairo, number one, I thank God for bringing him here because he's a father.
Yeah, he is.
Number two, he is a senior clergy. Ameona mengi. So akiniona hata nikiruka ashtuki. Ameshaona wenye wameruka hivyo. Amejua tu kijana kuna nguvu, wacha aruke. And therefore there is no competition. If I can preach 2 hours na yeye preach 30 minutes, he has been preaching the last 40 years. So he will never compete with me. And being a good father, I also try to be very, very careful because someone can be too good until you forget. Wanasema familiarity
brings contempt.
Yeah, mnaweza zoeana mpaka sasa badala umuone kama boss, unaona tu kama baba.
You see him as your equal.
Yeah. So I know he's good. One, he has a dream for this church, and he's trying to bring everybody on board, the lay readers, everybody, so that the time that God has brought him here, he do more of mentorship, more of empowerment, and being his son. Man is just too humble. Yeah, you know, kuna mtu anaitwa Elisha na Elijah. Kuna mwingine aliokota leso, ilikuwa nini ya Elisha ama Elijah?
Who was he by the way?
Yeah, Elijah ndiye alikuwa kwanza, then Elisha alikuwa
anamfuata.
So sometimes as a young person we need this senior clergy, and you need to be ukae kama Elisha. Mfuate pole pole, because at the end of the day he will retire before me. That is automatic. And as he retire, I will continue serving in this diocese of Nairobi. If God gives me life, it also depends with God. God gives me life. So I need to learn more, so that one day if I am a vicar at Gidogoro, or a vicar at Kayole, or in Karen, I will be applying some of the lessons that I have acquired from him. So my work, I want to, up to now I can say we have worked well. He's a team player, and akotuna mambo mengi kwa kichwa yake. Ukikaa na yeye kuna vitu anataka ifanyike, hii na hii church changiwe hivi, and I know for the year that God will give him in this parish will go far. So I believe as St. Bartholomew we are blessed, and I pray I should not be transferred as early as possible. I want to learn under senior clergy before maybe God lift me to another level at his own time.
And I return next year.
Oh yes, he said in the last episode, I remember, he's retiring next year. So I need to be keen like Elisha, just follow him keenly. The blessing can remain with me.
Pasi, how do you balance ministry with your personal life, family, and rest? Tunaona sasa inaelekea saa 3 bado tunashoot hii podcast.
Thank you. There's a word I've picked from the third bishop of Nairobi Diocese, the Right Reverend Jonathan Kabiru. He has been repeating it in his sermon, when he's giving his speech, when he's talking about strategic planning. He has been talking about being intentional. So from last year to this year, I've been using that word, being intentional, because this family needs me to go out. I remember my children always, when they were too young, they knew that when I go out is when I'm going to look for money, and when I get money, I will buy for them things. So when they see me in the house, they tell me, Daddy, go out, you get money, you buy for us chips. So when they see me out, they know that they have gone to look for money. So we must balance these things. Even though I have not achieved, but one of my goals is to be intentional with my family. One family is my first priority. Let me tell you, I'm not a priest at St. Bartholomew Nyari, but I'm a priest in my house. I can stand there and I carry my hand and say, now, may the blessing of God the Father, because I am the priest in my house. I am the one who knows how the service of my house will be. I say, wewe ndi unaomba leo, wewe ndi unafanya hii leo. So, and again, after my transfers in most of the parishes in Nairobi, I've always been transferred without a notice. Nasikianga tu, Calvin, barua yako kuju pick kwa diocese, na hiyo ni Tuesday. Unaambiwa Friday, una report St. Bartholomew. So that I learned that even here, very soon I might get a letter even next week after this episode. Maybe nimechoma. Na watu wa Bartholomew wataambiwa that youth coordinator have been transferred. But my family, there's no day I will be transferred from that home. And even if I die, they will never forget about me. Those my children, I will never become their ex-father. I am their father forever.
Their father.
And again, one thing I've realized, there's a lot of respect if in Africa, if you can manage your family. I want to say that there had come a time whereby things were not working well, where even the marriage was shaky. Because vitu zimejaa kichwa. Uko shule, uko kanisani, lakini kitu naleta kwa nyumba, hakuna.
Ni kidogo.
The madam sometimes don't understand, because hata hiyo kidogo basi, bila kujua hata wewe uko na stress. I was going through a stress because you need to manage this family, but you found yourself you cannot. Unapata landlord amesema kesho mnatolewa. So I started concentrating on my family. And up to now I will tell you, my family will become my first priority. But to maintain this family, for them to live in 2 bedroom, I am also needed in the place of work. Ndiyo nasema hapa ni ministry, but hapa ndio napatanga end month salary. So if also I mess here in my place of work, then my children will continue suffering.
Yeah.
So I must do extra work here so that I get my salary, so that I take care of my children. So I must be intentional to balance my family and my job. So those are the two things. Number 3, in my mama yangu alituzaa watu wa 7. So I must also balance my relationship with my brothers
siblings.
and my sisters. I also have some of the friends, but the church, I want to tell you, have made me to lose many friends.
Why?
Because of the transfers.
Oh.
Again, because of hand to mouth, hii mambo ya salary. Because you found that you have friends who are not church workers, they are working outside there, they are doing well. And either you are high schoolers, unasikia mko kwa alumni group.
Yeah.
Watu wanachanga 2000. Sasa utachanga 2000, unatoa hiyo 2000 wapi?
So ile uko nayo.
Sasa unakaa pale groups zikukaa 3, and you know church, you'll find that as being a youth pastor, I've realized we are the people going through a lot of challenges because one, youth ndio wanafanya harusi. Na youth ndio wazazi wao wanakufa. So in a year or in a month, you found that there are 2 youths having their diary paying of their diary.
Yangu inakuja by then nitakuweka.
Na ndio hiyo sasa. Na then kuna harusi pia. Hiyo ni sasa hapa Bartolomeo. Niko na wengine wa umoja, niko na wengine, some hata
places you have served, eh?
Yeah, and some were even part of your bridal team. Some you have worked with them when they were about to give up. So they have a lot of expectation on you. But you found you are unable to contribute. So you found you cut link with them. So I realized that my home church that I grew, Good Samaritan Komarok, I cut link with them because una uwezo. Saa zingine unasikia mtu babake amekufa, kuna memorial service, but you are unable to travel to Komarok because you don't have 500 ya kuenda na kurudi. Unapata wameku-add kwa group. Wakiform tu group yoyote hivi unajikuta Calvin Cornel ako hapo. And you found you cannot give. Then again, so I can say that financial challenges among the youth workers gives you a lot of difficulties that make you to separate yourself with friends. But now I'm trying to build the friendship. But at the moment, I cannot. The only 2 groups that I will work with, 3, is my family, the ministry, and my bigger family to ensure that we remain together. But friends, ni wewe yenye tuko nawe hapa. Sina friend mwingine, wewe tu hapa. Nikitoka, tena nikienda mahali pengine nipate friend wengine. But uniombee so that I can get financial breakthrough, so that even in your wedding, and in your Rora show,
kwanza unafuata 10K.
Na ile ya nini, how do we call it? When you have your baby shower next year, I will be able to come.
No babies. Pasi, I like what you've said in the beginning that the bishop, nini yake ni being intentional with what you do. I think that is my goal for this year, being intentional, especially in serving. Ndio maana unaona tuko na vitu kama hizi ni vitu ziko zina happen. Ni kwa sababu unaangalia what can I do. Unajua most of us hata Kenya tunasemanga inchi natufanyia nini. Sometimes we need to sit and ask ourselves, what are we doing for the nation? What are we doing for the church? And I really wish all other ministries and departments can adopt that mantra ya being intentional. Hii church hata mimi ushtuka siku hizi, unajua kana unafika mbele yangu nasikiaga vibaya sana. On Sunday nikikuja nione gari yake pale kwa kona, I'm like today
6:30
ameingia bana.
Wewe unaingia saa 2.
Na unajua anatoka wapi?
Saa 3.
Anatoka wapi? Huko Pumwani
mpaka hapa.
Mimi natoka hapa Ruaka. And he still gets before me. Unajua that needs to change. So hiyo law of intentionality, I'm also trying to be intentional with everything that I do, especially here in church. And I think sisi wote tukiadopt hiyo, the church can grow faster. Hiyo story ya sijui tunasikia tuko na deni nini.
You know, if you are all intentional and we love this our church of St. Bartholomew. St. Bartholomew is one of the richest church in Nairobi diocese.
Usichachishe sana.
Yeah, we are the richest. If I see you here on Sunday, I see you. The number is not bad. And I know you are all blessed. And you know, if we can be like that church in Philippi, the Macedonia church, where they gave even out of their poverty, then I believe this church, if you have only 50 people who can give you even, here we have more than 100 people who can give you 50,000 or 20,000 per month. So, like me, I can give 20,000 in a month, and you, I know you, so we are three, and these people taking the video. So we are rich, we are rich. It's only that when we give ourselves. But I know they are also looking at us who stand in the pulpit to see where are you leading us. Mnataka tufanye nini? And I'm very happy that we found with this church ilikuwa imesha kuanga, umeshafanya vitu nyingi, and even when Canon came, I have seen people giving cheerfully, and I know we are not in a wrong place. We need only to pull up our socks. And you know, sometimes when we pull our socks, it means you and me. The bad thing is we are looking at that man and we are feeling like if so and so can give, then this church can go far. But if all of us can give, one of the slogans I love, I learned from Canon John used to use it. God's work done in God's way will never lack God's resources. So God's work done in God's way will never lack God's resources. When we do mission work, when we go for pastoral, the way Vic has been going for pastoral, when we take care of the children ministry, the teens, the praise and worship, you saw the youth having a wonderful praise and worship afternoon here. When people see that, they will give cheerfully. Therefore, God's work done in God's way will never lack God's resources. So it is us who are leaders in the church, in no matter level you are, to be intentional and to do your very, very best. And the congregation will always do their best too.
So, Pasi, tunaenda tukimalizia. So, what impact do you hope your ministry will leave on people in the long run?
Thank you. One of the things I've been telling youth that I'm not perfect. And even if I'm called to any interview, whether ni ile ya kupata kazi, promotion, and they bring some of my mistakes, that I will not argue. I will tell them, this is Calvin, who is weak, who have failed in many areas. Forgive me, and I'm ready to learn. So my ministry has been to empower youth, to remind them that God loves you. You know, Gavi, many times we talk about the story of the prodigal son, and we only talk about him misusing the resources. And then he came back. But one of the sermon I like preaching is getting back to your senses, then coming back. Because most of us, when somebody have messed, we don't want them to come back. We want to throw them outside. Excommunication. So there are many people who have been excommunicated in the church. Not by the bishop or the priest, but us who are either church members or church leaders. So my work is to show this person who may commit adultery. There is a God of another chance. There is a second virginity. Wewe umekaa, ujawai have sex before marriage. It is possible. I will bring those people who the first sex they had was with maybe their wife. To remind the young people, you can remain pure until marriage.
Yeah.
Then I will also bring those who mess in their life, but God of another chance. Mungu wa urejesho akawarejesha. To remind these young people, hata ukipotea hujaenda sana. Like a prodigal son, come back to your senses, then come back. So to me, even to my listeners, I pray that you be quick to come back. Because the Bible tells us that if we say we have no sin,
We
we
deceive
deceive
ourselves,
ourselves and the truth is not in us.
us.
And again, the book of Isaiah, is it 3:10, we say, tell the righteous, it shall be well,
Shall
with,
be
them.
well with them.
And the question as an Anglican, who is righteous? They will say nobody.
Nobody.
But Romans chapter 4 will remind you, whoever have accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior is being made right. Where we call it justification by faith.
By faith.
Abraham was made righteous not because of the good work. In fact, the Bible says in Romans chapter 4, if it was good deeds that he was to boast of, but he has nothing to boast of. But he will only boast because he was made righteous because of faith. So no matter the youth have gone astray, bring them back. I have seen one who was a gay, who came to me and say, Pasi, mimi ni gay, nilianza gay nikiwa grade sijui what, class 6. So na Mungu akanipatia courage, sikushtuka. Akanipatia story zake, baadaye akaniambia yeye anataka kuchange na akachange. Siku hizi ananiambiaga Pasi, ngori niliacha. Mimi sasa nimerudi vile God alinicreate. So our work is to show them love, to tell them that don't tell me that you were created to be a gay. That is, you went astray, but there's God of another chance. And therefore you show them love and you bring them back. So coming back. But sasa tunakanga kichwa ngumu, ukishaenda wewe unataka kusonga ukisonganga. Christian, God says, come to me the way you are.
The way you are.
So to answer your question is, mine is to remind young people and to remind everyone that there's no sin which cannot be forgiven. And therefore, come back. And especially for the young one, when they come back and I see them serious in praise and worship, seeing them serious playing the instrument, then I see I've impacted somebody's life. Yeah.
Ah, nice. So lastly, if someone is struggling with purpose or faith, what would you tell them from your own journey?
From my own journey, I will try to give them an ear, to listen to them. Why are they struggling with purpose? Do they really understand what their purpose is? Show them love. And sometimes I acknowledge people who have some special training. We have life coach, career coach. I will always connect them to those people so that can help them. Because, sometimes we people who went to theological school and we did introduction to counseling and many other things, we want to behave like we are
professionals.
We are professional and we hold the key of knowledge. There are areas that you are not good at. There are people who are well-trained life coach. There are people who are well-trained on career. So I have many friends whom I know in my circle who are good in such areas. I always connect them to those people so that they identify. Mine will be very simple: to build their self-esteem, to build the issue of identity in Christ, your self-awareness. But again, I will hand them to professionals, whether a counselor, whether it is a life coach, a career coach, to guide them so that they identify their areas, they identify where they mess, they identify their fears so that they can overcome those fears and continue with their purpose in life. But I know many times I've used professionals. These young people come back and say, Pasi, ulinisaidia, niko third year, nafanya ile course yenye tuliongea na yule coach. So me most cases, sitaki kukua Yesu. Yesu ndiye alikuja kutubebea mzigo. Mimi yangu ile yenye amenipatia. Akinipatia ya ku-encourage na ku-encourage, then I tell you, there's a professional who can work with you. Then I take you to that professional.
Nice. Pasi, I wish tungeendelea na hii conversation.
Thank you.
But it's 9 p.m.
Yeah. We thank God.
It's 9 p.m. and we had to do this today because we've been postponing from February. Tulifaa kufanya hii February. Mara uyuko, mara si. You're a very busy person, eh?
Yeah. I am a busy man.
Hebu tupatie parting shot tufunge hii kitu.
Thank you so much. One, I want to thank you so much for having such a program where we can reach people. all over the world. I want to say that I'm so grateful for the listeners, and I'm so grateful for God for giving me an opportunity to serve Him. I'm so grateful that He called me among millions to be among those who can be called servants. I also thank the bishop for finding fit, after prayers and consideration, that I come and serve in this wonderful parish. And anytime I see any challenge, something that comes to my mind, that's why you are taken there, so that you can help to handle that challenge. And working also with the vicar, the wardens of this church, I see this is a very wonderful place. One of my prayer is that this church will overcome the mountain of the land. And we see us building a wonderful plaza or structure for the youth and teens and children. That will be our joy. So it's my prayer that the time that the vicar is here, the church will give him support. And one of the great mission that vicar should help us, if God can allow, is to ensure that the issue of land is settled, so that the new vicar who will come
struggle with this.
Will continue now with the building. How I pray that the vicar should not start any construction. He should just ensure that we have title deed, everything is working. And now it's upon the church. We have lawyers, we have different professionals, people who can reach the Ministry of Land and even State House and anywhere. They need to work with the vicar and ensure that we get that land. That will be my joy. And even if I will be transferred as vicar retired, I will be happy that while we were there with Canon Cairo, God helped the Canon to clear the issue of the land. That will be my joy. Otherwise, thank you. I will still be here. I will be in this panel anytime. But my work in this parish is to coordinate youth, children, and teens. And again, nikiitwa kwa fellowship nitakuwa hapo.
Utakuja.
Nikipewa chance kuhubiri hapa nitahubiri. But praise and worship siku hizi niliweka chini.
Ulishukisha.
Wacha nifundishe na wacha nikae na youth pale kwa tent. But I thank the vicar for the opportunity he has been giving me almost every month to come and share the word of God with the congregation. Thank you, my brother, even for this platform, because remember that platform belonged to the vicar. So if he tells you don't interview Calvin, I cannot. So I thank the vicar for allowing you to interview me.
You're doing a good job with the youth. Personally, napitianga huko. You know, all my siblings are in the youth leadership. Mary, Nancy, Eston. So, you know, wakiongea mambo ya youth, sometimes I'm able to advise them and tell them, fanya hii, endeni hivi. And your name always pops up, and I can see the impact you're having. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. We'll have more discussions.
Thank you.